Hello friend, I hope you are doing well. Today is the big day and I recently got some requests to create more vlog-like videos or just kind of bring you along with me. Now, I figured today might be perfect because guess what? We're moving! So if you didn't hear in any of my previous videos, because I did briefly mention it in the last, second to last, I don't know. My brain may not be quite as ship-shape as it usually is because I am running on 6 hours of sleep. However, I'm currently fueling up on some green tea. It is 6 in the morning. Everyone else is still asleep. So I thought I would just kind of get a head start because I went to bed at almost 1 in the morning. And I know a lot of people stay up, but I'm not a night owl. So I'm hoping that I'll do okay because we were moving all day yesterday just using the car. But today and tomorrow we get the truck. So it's going to be busy, but I think it's going to be good because thankfully we're only 20 minutes up the road. So I'm going to bring you along today because I'm going to be packing up both Walter and Alexander's tank, and so I just thought it would be a good opportunity to show you what you can do if you're just moving up the road. Now this is not a long distance how-to tutorial because I have done those before, and if you would like a video on how to travel with your Bettas when you're going long distance, then let me know in the comments. My arm is shaking like crazy, I'm so sorry, but it's tired from yesterday. So this is not a long distance move, so I will be doing things a little bit differently. I won't be packing stuff up as crazy as I normally do. Also, side note, I just realized this morning that I left my tripod at the other house, so I'm gonna have to hodgepodge my phone in between some books, like a candle or something, to try to get you a little video of me siphoning out the tanks. So that'll be fun, but just so you know, that's why I don't have my tripod, so I'm gonna have to have a little makeshift one. Once we get closer to having to pick up the truck, I'm going to siphon out the tank below half, so it's probably be a couple inches full, because as soon as I do that, we're going to then take it to the other house, so there won't be really any time for stress. I figured it would be more stressful if I scoop them up and put them in ball jars, which is typically what I do when we are going on a long distance trip. I am going to go ahead and siphon their tanks in the next clip. But until then, I'm going to finish my breakfast and try to wake up, I guess. With all the packing for this next clip, I just decided that I was going to record a voiceover because it was just so much easier. So I don't have to do all that and talk and worry about what I was going to say while I was just trying to siphon out the tanks and get everything ready. So as you can see, I siphoned out as much as possible. I wanted to remove all the water that I could while still leaving enough for my Bettas to kind of swim around, be able to move freely. In the end, I probably left about an inch of water, and the tanks are still pretty heavy. My dad had to help me get them in the car, and you will see that later. In this next bit, I covered both of the tops of the tanks with plastic wrap, and this isn't super necessary because as we were traveling, the water didn't slosh a whole lot, but I mainly did it because I knew that the aquatic plants would be out of the water for at least 30 to 40 minutes while we were traveling and getting them on the car, and I didn't want them to become dehydrated and die because they've actually been doing pretty well. So after I siphoned Walter's tank, I did the same for him. Just in case, because I was being super careful, I did poke some air holes in it, but honestly, there were plenty of gaps for air to come through. I just wanted to be super careful, so I took a screwdriver and just poked some holes in it. and they both did really well while I was doing this. I definitely know that last time when we moved and I put them in the bulb jars, it seemed like they were a little bit more stressed, and I could understand that. I mean, they got snatched from their home, and here they at least got to stay in there. So this personally is my favorite method for local moves. It may not always be possible if you're moving several hours away, but whenever you can, I personally think that this is the best stress-free option for moving your Betta. Alright, I got both boys packed up. Alexander's down in there. They both seem very chill, so that's good. I feel like they probably would have been more stressed had I put them in something like the ball jar. So now I have to get behind these little corners and clean that up because I haven't looked at that in over a year. Does anybody else have those little corners? Do you have those little neglected fish corners where your fish tanks are that you just forget to dust? Because I definitely do. Alright, so this one's ready. Alexander's ready to go. He's back there. And all the way over here is Walter, and he's also ready to go. Mostly I just put this over, not even to prevent water from sloshing, but just to keep these plants kind of wet since they're not covered in water, and I would like them to live and not die. So he's all ready, and he doesn't seem stressed. His behavior is normal. So I think moving them in this tank will be good because we'll take it directly to the house, fill it up, and they'll be done. Boys are doing really well so far. If you are moving and you're moving close and it's not just hours and hours away and you can move them in the tanks, I highly recommend doing it. Walter's down here, Alexander's in the back, just kind of wedged in some plants. Got a car full of stuff, so I'm hoping that it'll all work out well. We had to stop by Ace to get some pieces for the sink at the house because we didn't have it when we got there last night, and then we're gonna bring a truck full of stuff and get everything set up, and I should actually go ahead and be able to get the tanks for the boys set up, so that's really good. I really like this method so far. It's working out perfectly fine. They're not stressed. Really happy about it. And when we get there, I'll finally have my tripod, so maybe we can make some decent shots. So we have all the tanks in here and everything's pretty much situated. I'm just going to fill his tank with water before we go.
Unfortunately, I did have the tripod here, but it didn't have the little grippy piece that holds my phone, so I can't really feel myself setting them all up, and we need to go and pick up the truck anyway and just get some stuff moving. So I'm going to just fill his tank up with water, dechlorinate it, and then later when we come back, I'll set it up. I don't have my desk here yet, so that's why his tank is on the floor. But I'm mainly just filling this one up because I was concerned about the Amazon sword plant that I have. Since I took off the wrap without thinking, I didn't want it to dry out, so I just filled it up. So I'm gonna do this, we're gonna go, and I'll see you in a little bit. Went back to the other house and the piece is finally acquired, so now I can set up the tanks and use my good old tripod.
Hello, it's the next day. I wasn't able to do anything else that day because we ended up being up really late with the truck just trying to make trips and get the rest of everything set up. I also had to get my desk, so we got that set up that night, and then I was able to put Alexander's tank on there and fill it up, so I'm really happy about that. I decided to do a little check-in on Walter while I was filling Alexander's tank, and look! He decided to do some redecorating himself. I think he's proud. I think he's proud of his work. It is a shame though, because I did notice even though I have the flow set really low on the sponge filter, even when I have it turned on, his bubble nests just disappear. They don't seem to hold. So they only really seem to hold when I have everything turned off. I'm not sure why. I'd love to figure that out, so maybe at some point I will be able to. But I'm gonna go ahead and get the lights and the heaters and everything set up as soon as I can get Alexander's tank filled. He's so proud of his work. Look at him. That proud little face. Alrighty, this is the final update for this video. I will likely be making more, but I did want to give everything a day or two just to kind of get settled before I made the final little update. So as you can see, I moved some stuff, I put my plant there, and I had to set up everything, get everything plugged up, and then over here is Walter, and there's me. But it does feel a little bit plain over here, and I was wondering if anybody had ideas as to what I could put here. I mean, I could put a plant, possibly, but there's not a whole lot of space on each side, so I could put a small plant. But if you have any ideas, put it in the comments. But Walter is very happy. He wasn't stressed at all during the move. It was such a good move, and I know really all I showed was just moving the fish. I haven't watched other people's moving vlogs, so I don't really know how they did it, but I mainly wanted to highlight how I did a local move with 2 Bettas for you. I hope that this video was helpful and that you enjoyed seeing the process. Huge thanks to my dad for lifting those heavy tanks, because even though almost all the water was out of them, they were so heavy. But everybody arrived happy and healthy, and guess what? Upon further inspection, Walter has decided that he's going to put on another new color. It's a bit hard to see, but he's putting on yellow. Yellow. And his fins just keep on growing out and out, but he has a little bit of yellow right there. And he's so active. He's just hard to film. He's just a little stinker, but I just love him to pieces, and I'm so glad that the move went well for him and that he is happy and healthy. Same for Alexander. Alright friend, this is the end of the video. The end of the little fish vlog. If you like this type of video, let me know, and I can make some more. I have a little list of ongoing topics that I should cover. Many of them were requested by subscribers, so if you requested a certain type of video, rest assured that I will be coming out with some of those. Right now, I'm just getting settled because I am in the final stages of moving. Most everything is done, but there are a few things left, so I got to get all that done. But I should still stick to my 1 video per week schedule. If you would like to see kind of a whole room tour after I get everything set up, let me know. And I would love to make one of those for you. All right, in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful week. Walter says hello and he wishes you a wonderful week as well. And we will see you soon.